Hey y'all, it's your girl Sia, and I'm back with another video. Now, y'all, I hope you guys are having a great Sunday. I am enjoying mine. I wanted to just briefly check in with you guys. I actually had been debating about whether or not I wanted to do a video or not, but I think I am. Partly because I do want to be able to track like this transition that, myself and my daughter are going through. But I also wanted to talk about the debates. I've been meaning to talk about it, but I forgot because I have life and things going on, right? So, really quick, like I said, if you guys have not subscribed, please subscribe down below. With that being said, let's get into it. So, first things first, I want to get into these political debates, okay? And I'm speaking from a person who, for those of you guys who don't know, I voted for Trump in 2020. I don't believe, if I'm not mistaken, I did not vote because that was the year Bernie Sanders, I think, was pretty big. So I did not vote in 2016 at all, but I did vote in 2020. Now, the reason I did not vote in 2016 is just because I felt like when I saw Donald Trump on the stage, I felt insulted. Okay. I really genuinely did, because our candidates, in my opinion, were not. They were not candidates that I felt like I could really get behind. I barely voted for Obama in 2008. I don't even think I knew, you guys. I had just became legally able to vote. And I don't think I knew half the stuff that I do now, in terms of, politics and the system and how things work. And I don't believe my vote counted because he was already pretty much announced president prior to me voting. So I don't know how much of my vote made a difference. But yeah, that was my first time voting. Then 2016 came up. I did not vote. I was not going to vote for the parties. If I were to vote for anyone, it would have been Bernie Sanders. But I believe something happened or something was said or whatever that really kept me from wanting to vote that year. Okay. Outside of feeling like the candidates were just not what I would have preferred. Okay. And then obviously in 2020, and that's just because of the things that the Democrats were clearly supporting, like they were very vocal and honest about supporting. And considering everything that had gone down, and the actions of people who support the Democrats, I was like, screw this. We're voting for someone who makes some sense. Okay. Here we are in 2024. And I guess I'm expected to vote the same way, technically. So in that way, I would be expected to vote for Trump for those who actually know I voted for Trump. Most people, I think, would expect me to vote the same way again. I am pro women's rights. I'm a woman. I just need to really make that very clear. I do not support any red wing ideology, any red pill ideology. And so I cannot support a party, period, that even remotely threatens my right as a woman. Okay. So unfortunately, I will not be voting for Trump. That is one of my primary reasons for not voting for him, because I am who I am, and I am for people who are, I would be a fool to vote against myself. Okay. And I damn sure ain't voting for Biden. I'm sorry. Okay, that's just not an option. And so therefore, I will not be voting. And I've said this, I mean it, and I say it with all sincerity. I tell people all the time that when you vote, you are responsible for the consequences of the person. Like, you're responsible for whatever karma that comes from that person being president. And I think people don't understand that. It becomes more of a tit for tat. I want to, ooh, let's get them back. I do not think either parties are for the people. And this is just my personal opinion. When I say for the people, I mean the people across the board. Okay. I did not appreciate the conversations that were being had about Black people. Okay. I do not appreciate the conversations in the manner in which they were being had and the way in which we were discussed. I didn't appreciate it. on either side. Okay. I don't care what party claimed to be the tone of the what we did for black people and it just the tone of it all just didn't seem genuine for me. I'm sorry. Okay. I probably never heard black people that many times in one fucking sentence. What are you doing for the American people? Like, I'm real tired of people trying to pander to me. Okay. Because it's just a reminder. Why, like, for me, it was, why do I have to be consistently reminded that you guys have to do something for me, but you haven't done it? Even with Trump, I know people like to say, well, we were better under Trump. We were better under Trump. And that's cool and all, y'all. But Trump, we had a lot of different, it was an interesting time, right? Because some black people are doing better because they understood what type of time it was and they did the work. Not necessarily because we knew that the economy was better. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying that it was or it wasn't. I'm saying as a black person, for some of us, it was more about the types of times we're in, the reality in the way in which in the direction in which the world was going to go. You guys know during that time, I was talking about 2020 vision heavy, right? Understanding that this was a time, if the world was going to sit down, then I had to be prepared for what's coming next. So I knew that at that time, if the world is going to sit down, this was a time for me to reset. Do you understand me? So during 2020, while everybody was busy with other things, and I was too, don't get it twisted, I was partying, right? I'm not gonna lie. 2020 was a very big party year for me. Okay. But meanwhile, I'm partying, but I also had enough sense to understand that it was time to get my shit together, meaning that, and I still ain't where I want to be, y'all. I want to reiterate that. Okay. But I'm thinking 2020 vision, it's time for me to to really figure out what I want to do, what I want to be, where I want to go, and then figuring out what are the steps to help me get there. And so as a result of, right, because I was doing the work, I was reaping the rewards. Do you understand me? So it wasn't like, oh, well, just the economy was good. I will never give credit to the economy when it comes to my overall success, because my success is because I put in the work. So while I understand black people's ideology, like I said, and it's so hard because the black people that are voting for Trump now, right? And I understand this, everything that's going on, right? And much more power to all of you who are saying, you know what, I'm gonna take a stand and I'm gonna try to sway the tide by voting. Like, that's cool, right? I'm not against anyone who votes for Trump. I'm really against people who vote for Biden. Like, I don't even fucking understand the logic there. That part I will never understand. If a man is fucking mumbling, he can barely fucking talk. How is this dude the fucking president, bro? That shit doesn't even like, the dude can barely fucking form a sentence, and you've got fucking idiots out there talking about, oh, it's okay if he can be the president of the fucking United States. Huh? That is the most prestigious position in America. And you mean to tell me that we're putting a man who can't even think, like he can't even process a goddamn sentence? He don't even, y'all, this debate, I didn't even understand half of what was being said. And I mean, I heard it, right? I heard what he was saying. I don't think the man even understood where he was going with a lot of his. When I say this debate was the stupidest fucking debate, and I'm mad at Trump too, because I'm gonna tell you now, a bully, and when I say a bully, and I know y'all understand, let me say this, okay? A bully is someone who, when you see them on a playground, they're beating the kid's butt, right? The kid is afraid of them, can't barely fight back, but the bully thinks it's so tough because he's taking punches to this kid, right? And the kid can't even fight back. I am saying this. I am not saying that Trump is a bully. Okay. That is not what I'm saying here. But y'all know how that ideology, how it works, how the science, whatever you call it, the psychology, whatever behind bullying works. Usually there is one person that really just attacks the other person on a regular everyday basis. That person is weaker than, they don't always fight back, right? They don't know how to stand up for themselves. They're not a fair fight. You understand me? When I was young, I remember, see, I had wisdom, boy. I still do, but I had a level of wisdom even then, right? Because I remember going into, when I was in this, going through my foster care stage and whatever, right? You're dealing with other kids in similar situations with similar issues, maybe worse issues than what I had, right? And I remember these girls always picking at me, and I had to become this tough girl because I have to protect myself because ain't nobody else about to protect me, right? And I remember, some girl ready to fight me or whatever, and I think she took like a game. I was sitting there talking to the staff about something, and the girl took a whole Monopoly box or something and chucked it at my head or dropped it on top of my head because she was angry, right? And so naturally, as a kid, I'm still learning how to control my emotions. I was about 14, 15 at this time, right? And I was really working on learning to control my emotions. I know that sounds crazy, but that's what I was going through at that age. Like, that was, I don't know if anybody, like, people were talking to me about it. They supported me a lot because a lot of people, like, the thing I would always hear is, you're right, I get it, this and this, but you got to be able to react. We can't have your back if you're reacting this way. You got to react this way, right? So that was the dynamic for my I would say a few years of my teens, right? Learning how to really not react to stupid shit, right? So I remember in this moment, because it was a clear attack, it was obvious a girl was attacking me, everybody saw it, right? I got up and was ready to fight with the girl, right? I was ready, like, and I'm coming full throttle for her, right? But the girl's backing up. She's trying to make it seem like she's ready to fight me, but she's backing up. And I'm thinking, okay, the level of rage that I had in that moment, I'd have killed the girl. That's how I felt. Do you understand? So with her backing up, it only showed me, and she wasn't backing up to get space to try to throw a punch, right? It was too much chasing for me to have to try to get this girl. And she's backing up, like I said, like she's about to throw a punch, but the punch never fucking came, bro. So after a while, I have to recognize who's really the strongest. Like, maybe there's a reason why you had to really throw that Monopoly box on top of my head when I wasn't looking, right? Now that I'm up in front of your face, you want to back up. You talking shit, but you backing up. People who are really about that life coming for you. It's that simple. I'm not going to back up in the middle of a fight, y'all. And keep in mind, y'all, I have not fought in a very long time. I do not fight anymore, but I have a past. Everybody does. We all come from somewhere, right? And so in this space that I was in this environment that I was in, it caused me to have to be able to defend myself and protect myself because I was dealing with other kids that maybe have came from juvie, right? Came from way worse homes than I did, or came from similar situations as I, but was handling it differently than I. Okay. So in this circumstance, I remember vividly thinking, well, she must be scared. Because if I'm throwing a Monopoly box on somebody's head, I'm prepared to fight. I probably wouldn't even allowed you to stand up. Like, we would have just been going ham. You know what I mean? Like, I shouldn't. If you are bold enough to throw something at me, and I mean, come so close where she didn't throw it at me. She dropped it on top of my head. So she was that close to me, but from behind me. So when I get up, you should already been ready to take off. Like, I would think that that's the start of it, right? No, I'm having to follow this girl wherever she going because she don't know where she going. She just backing up because she sees it in my fucking eyes. I'm about to freaking kill her. Okay. So here's the deal. I do not support Trump in his thought process because this is my thing. Get somebody who's fair to fight. Get someone who can finish a full sentence to go against you. Get someone that can literally complete a train of thought, because Biden couldn't even complete, like, he talked, but I don't know if all of it really made sense to what was being asked, if that makes sense. Like, it was very hard to follow him. That's number one, because he was not engaging at all. The dude was super boring. Okay. And his job is not to entertain, but it is to kind of, when you're public speaking and stuff, you should be able to command the attention of the people, right? If you're on that kind of platform and you telling me 80 million people voted for you, I was very bored and disentertained with his part. I did not understand. Like, what I feel almost happened is it's not that he couldn't complete full sentences, he could not complete the full, like, train of thought. It almost felt like he would maybe start to answer the question and then go off into something else that did not answer the question, and then maybe bring up something else that did not answer the question, and Trump is sitting there like, yeah, I got him. And it's like, no, bro, the dude, that's not a fair fight. Okay. And I don't think the man is even like, I wouldn't have debated him. And I know they have to debate, but I would have been like, y'all give me, I would have felt insulted because they made me debate this guy. Do you understand me? Like, what kind of fucking debate is that? The dude can barely speak. Like, that's not, to me, everybody's talking about how, oh, well, Trump won. It's a guaranteed he won. Well, duh. Look at his opponent. Like, that to me is not fair to the American people. Like, you should have people who are of equal intelligence, right, or higher, to be debating folks. This man can even keep a full train of thought. The thought, like, come on, bro. So this is not, I mean, it's a win, but it's a weak win. It's like one of them wins that you didn't really earn it. It was given. Biden is old. Okay, and this is unfortunate. Like, there's nothing against old people, but when you cannot form a sentence properly or train a thought properly, bro, you need to sit it out. You need to be like, all right, I'm putting on my retirement cap. I'm done. You going in front of millions and hundreds of millions, maybe even billions of people, and you can't even form a fucking sentence, bro. And Trump was sitting there like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, a part of him was kind of like, I told y'all so, see? But at the same time, the smirks and all, he's an old man, bro. Like, you didn't win because you won. Like, I guess Trump has won because he's won over the people in that regards, right? But to me, it was like, can we get a what is that, Robert Kennedy Jr. or whatever? Y'all, they need somebody of the equal playing field, because Biden is not the equal playing field. He is not. That's like taking candy from a baby, bro. I can't respect that. Like, he needs, I mean, somebody's got to push for him to have a better debate. I'm not against Trump necessarily, but I don't like that look. The look wasn't right. It don't look right. And I understand maybe there's some beef and some tension. I don't know how much beef there is if they talking about golf. Like, let's be honest with, I don't golf with my enemies, bro. I don't golf with someone who tried to put me in prison and tried to get me all types of bullshit and hit me up with the courts and legal stuff. We ain't playing no damn golf together. The fuck? So the fact that that shit even came up and folks is talking about going and playing golf, what? Huh? This is why I'm telling you, they two wings of the same goddamn bird, and folks is out here, oh, well, we're going to vote for Trump because what happened last time? I told you guys, there's a saying, and I don't know what it is, that the presidents are responsible for what happens 10 years after their fucking presidency, bro. So it makes me wonder, like, I don't know if that's true or not, but I've heard that, and I know a lot of people have heard that. So it blows my mind. Like, some of it, I almost believe Biden in some things when he was saying some of this stuff is because of Trump. I don't know what to tell y'all. Okay. I felt bad a little bit for Biden. I didn't feel anything for Trump outside of, it made me laugh because, damn, who are you really debating? And he knew that. Like, Trump knew he was debating somebody that couldn't win. But it's like, I guess for me, if I know that this person can't win, I I just would have done things differently. It would have looked differently, right? The image in front of the people just don't necessarily look right, in my opinion, on both sides. But I don't know how much we can blame Biden at this point, because Biden, I don't know that Biden even knows what he's doing. The way he could not finish a sentence, and I'm thinking, I don't know. I would have said something possibly on the stage and been like, y'all, I cannot debate with this person. It ain't his fault. It's the fact that he's incompetent. He's too old. He don't know how to form a complete thought, let alone a complete sentence. We're talking about matters of national security, and this dude is stuttering over every freaking thought that he has. And then when he's talking, he's mumbling. No period, pause, just keep going. And half the time, you don't even know what he's talking about. He starts one over here and then ends up all the way over in Africa. I don't freaking get it. The math is not mathing. He's clearly too old. That is a given. So any person, and this is what blows my mind about people who talk about, well, we're still voting for Biden. Listen, you need to get over your hate for Trump. Like, at this point, you need to call a spade and get the fuck on. Okay, I'm kind of sick of this shit about, oh, well, speak clearly, Biden. No, Biden is too old to speak clearly. And when he does, it's just mumble. Like, you don't really know what he's talking about, bro. I don't think he knows what he's talking about. So I'm very embarrassed for this goddamn country, because that shit wasn't cool. Okay, to have that man on stage debating, not cool. And whoever was in control of him, not cool. Because as an elder, regardless if you respect him or fucking not, he's still an old man. Okay? So I'm not even understanding how they even thought that having him in that debate was acceptable. Not okay. Okay? And Trump should have never debated. I would have found a freaking way to get the message to the American people. And at that point, we probably would have had to rebel against the system. There's no fucking way you would have had me debate that man. It's not because I'm going to lose. It's because he is incompetent. He is not worth me going up against, because at this point, it's a guaranteed win or lose. You understand? That should have been handled differently. And I do not like how it was handled. And I understand people are saying, oh, well, he won. That's not a fair fight. I don't care how you look at it, bro. That's not a fair fight. Never was. It definitely ain't now. So I'm not getting it. Okay, I want to see a real debate with real intelligence, real questions, real answers, and I want to see people go back and forth. I want to hear the what folks have got to say. What are their solutions? Because at the end of the day, Trump in that debate, he said what he was gonna do, but I need specifics, sir. Like, I need to really know. And maybe it's because I haven't been watching these rallies or something. Maybe, I don't know. But to me, there was not enough there for me to be like, okay, Trump, I'm gonna vote for you. I need to know, what are you going to do to solve all of these issues? Okay? Because he's pandering too. As much as y'all don't like to hear that, that man was pandering too. Okay? Now, when he had his little interview with Dr. Phil, I could respect that. I even listened to it. I watched it. I didn't watch it all, y'all. My plan was to go back and watch it all, and then I'll talk about it then. But I felt like that I got at least an hour in. I felt like it was more in depth than this damn debate. This debate was very, in my opinion, very surface level. It didn't get to the root of the issue on anything. So I'm waiting, like, I'm paying attention. I just need, I want a convincing to vote. I want them to convince me to vote for them. I don't want to just vote because the tables have turned. That's not why. I don't want to vote because this man is old and there ain't nobody better in office. No, I need this man to earn my vote. And you don't just earn my vote because you earned it in 2020. 2020 circumstances were completely different than they are right now. These are real times. Like, we really got folks wiping our windshields right now, trying to do that shit and not respecting our goddamn property, bro. I shouldn't have to tell you fucking no, because you shouldn't be at the stoplight trying to wash my goddamn windshield. Period. These folks are, I'm so close to, like, I've been saying I'm gonna get me a gun, like, get me some protection, but I'm serious, y'all. I don't play this shit with these fucking weird ass men tapping on my goddamn window. You better get the fuck away from me. I don't feel safe around men all the time. And then I got some weirdos I don't even fucking know. You come from a fucking different country. Supposedly y'all they just doing whatever the hell they want to do to people. But you want me to let you wash my window. I got windshield washer for that. If I wanted my windshield washed, I'd have took my car to go get washed. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need no person at no goddamn stoplight, tapping on my window, asking me if I want my car. And then they really do it when you don't pay attention to them. They want to try to force you to pay. Motherfucker, I promise you, next person that tries to make the way I be feeling about these folks, if I was protected, I'd see. That's why I don't have one. Because God will be like, girl, you better be ready to use it for real. Because of the way I will pull that shit out so quick and sit on my lap. Y'all think I'm playing. I don't do men. I don't want men in my space unless I trust you, unless I like you, and touching my fucking car and I don't fucking know where you even fucking came from or why you're at the stop sign really bothers me, bro. And I don't think there's enough Americans. Maybe I'm not the only one, and maybe that's the support for Trump, right? But I don't think there's enough Americans speaking the fuck up. Sorry, not when I see these motherfuckers making money by doing it. That means somebody's paying for this shit somewhere. So yeah, sorry about my little rant and rave, but y'all, I don't do this shit that we're seeing right now. This shit is different. And what they say is not everybody can be trusted. And one thing I will tell you is the person that is the oddball out, the person that doesn't go with the crowd is usually the one that's, on the right path. And right now, Donald Trump has a crowd behind him. I mean, a much larger crowd than there was before. And I don't care what people say. I don't care what you think. I believe that there's a level of deceitfulness somewhere. There is a level of deceit. I don't know where yet. I haven't been able to see it yet, but I feel it in my spirit that something's not right with this election. I keep trying to say it. So I will not be voting for neither one of these fools unless Biden is not going to earn my respect. Like, not in the sense of you should be president. No, sorry. That's not even, like, he can't earn that. There is no, even women's rights, right? And his quote unquote support for abortion, all that. No, there's not enough. I'm sorry. I could never, ever support Biden. Ever. That's just never going to happen. I recognize that he needs to be somewhere chilling, getting ready for, wherever he's about to be, Judgment Day, right? That's what he need to be doing. He does not need to be president. That's a fact. And it's interesting how they tried to throw Kamala up there. I can't even, I'm sorry. I tried to listen to Kamala. I can't, bro. I don't respect Kamala. It's not, nothing against her, but to me, you got to have people that command attention. She don't command attention. Kamala's just as bad to listen to as Biden, if you really ask me. Trump, on the other hand, I'm waiting for him to really earn my vote. I don't got time to be keeping up with rallies. The dude is doing a rally like every day. Shout out to him. But I need more because I don't know about an opportunity zone, right? I've heard of them. That didn't impact me. Okay. There's a lot of things that Trump says he did that did not impact me, right? I didn't even get the COVID. What is that? The stimulus check? I didn't get the first round of stimulus checks. So certain things did not impact me. Now, obviously, the stuff that came with it. So you're dealing with like what? The PPP loans and stuff like that. Or maybe I did vote for Trump in 2000. Was it 2016? 2020? Because 2020 was Biden, wasn't it? Because we're in 2024. So I did vote for Trump. No, it was 2020. I voted for Trump. Then I vote. Oh, but he didn't become president. That's what happened. I'm like, I could have sworn. No, my timeline is correct because he didn't become president. I got thrown off a little bit, y'all. So no, I just eh, I'm I need better candidates, man. I need I need more people up there outside of Biden. And because I feel like when you have more people up there that speak with a level of intelligence where Trump will respect it, you can pull more out of the debate. This debate, I'm like, if y'all do round two and round three, which I'm sure there's, I need to be keeping up with every last one of them. And I will be doing videos on everything because I'm invested. I want to know if I can help, I'm gonna help, but I gotta feel good about my decision. So that first pre-debate, that wasn't it, y'all. I couldn't, I just I was like, Trump needs somebody up there that's just like a Ron DeSantis kind of like, not saying we support Ron DeSantis, but at least he could keep a sentence. At least he can ask questions. At least he can pull things out of the candidate so that the candidate has to respond and give you some. I just need more substance. And you're not going to get that with a Biden who don't speak all his words. Okay. But I am going to do videos on that repeatedly because it's important. What's happening right now is crucial. And we're in some interesting times. So I will be doing a lot more of this. I've been waiting on the election and the stuff to start coming down the pipeline. I'm not a Trump fan. Okay. And when I say that, you're not going to catch me at no rallies, y'all. I don't have time to be catching up with celebrities. I see celebrities as other everyday people. Okay. So there's no wow factor with Trump for me. Okay. Maybe the first time around, but even then, there was no wow. I think the more wow is the fact that the Democrats are going so left. That's more of a wow to me than almost anything. And then this whole red pill, trying to put women, back in 1950 and y'all don't want women to work and trying to control women and shit. That shit, no, I can't rock with that, bro. I cannot rock with the red pill movement. I cannot rock with men, this patriarchy type of way of thinking. I just can't do it. I think that's why I'm single. If I really had to look at things, you're not gonna talk to me crazy. You ain't finna tell me what to do. I don't need a dad, right? I didn't ask you to be my dad, okay? Now you giving your input when it matters, that's different, but trying to boss me around and tell me what you think I should be doing. Nope. Not being able to put me on game higher than where, not adding value to my life. Like that's the biggest thing. If you're not adding value, I don't like, I don't tolerate disrespect. You ain't finna be yelling at me thinking you talking to me. No, I'm sorry. The shit that some of these fools be on, you can't catch me. Like I realized that I knew what I was doing. I was making all the right choices, just allow people to fuck with me, bro. So yeah, I am not into these types of thought processes that have been happening right now, right? I'm sorry. I don't believe in men sleeping with young girls, right? I just certain shit that is the conversations that are being had right now, bro. I just either side, because you got the right wing side that is trying to appeal to the red pill because they're trying to gain followers, right? And supporters and more supporters. You've got this Project 25 movement that you ain't gonna force me into marriage. You are not gonna force me into having a kid, bro. I will harm myself. I will take myself out of this life before I have a kid by somebody who I did not agree to ever have a kid with. And I mean that with sincerity. You are not putting me in no goddamn hands made tale, because I will either fight or fight or flight. Meaning I'm taking some people out or I'm taking myself out. It's one of the two. You ain't putting me in that situation. And I could only imagine, like with this whole draft, because at first I know I said that I feel, and I still feel like this, right? Because again, it's within balance, right? But I'm trying to find more of a reason, because I can't really fathom the fact that they would draft my daughter, right? I just like I know me at an 18-year-old. I was such a foolish little girl. What war are you sending me to? And think I'm a win. See, what I believe it for the males. I don't necessarily believe it for women. I don't believe war is for women. I never have believed. I mean, again, if women want to go to fight in war, cool. Like that, I can't. Just like women want to be cops and women want to do all these extra things I just don't really see women doing. But that's because I'm a girly girl, right? Some women are not like me, and I respect that. But I'm not the girl that's about to be going out to no war zone. Like I just I don't see a lot of these girls if they're girly girls. Like, what sense does that make drafting them into war? Oh, then that means you're really drafting them to kill them at that point. And I understand the idea that I mean, maybe they train you. I would assume they train you, right? You get trained, maybe not as fast, not as much as other people, but you get trained enough to be able to fight in that war. I mean, that's my assumption. But I just couldn't, me personally, you guys, I could not. I don't know. If it came down to my little girl, that's why I'm telling my daughter, like, I'm serious. I think it's about your economic value. I've said this time and time again. And it's not just economic value, but right now there is social value. There is a social economic value. And what's happening when you talk about social credit and all these things going on and all this stuff in the background, I think the ideology of sending young people or registering them or automatically registering them. I know that people have their biases and their thoughts and their fears. And I'm going to be honest, I could entertain those fears, right? I'm not dumb. I'm fully aware of some of that too. But I also feel like there's a lot of people that really have nothing else to do with their life. They have no purpose. They don't know what to do with themselves. They're over there doing all this stuff to harm other people. Well, why not send them to war? Like, in that regards, that's where I feel like a draft is okay. You got a bunch of folks that are sitting around twiddling their thumbs and not adding value to the world, not at all. So I mean, and I really believe that this registering of automatically at 18 has a lot to do with the types of topics that we're having in this modern day society, the types of conversations that are being had. How else do you get rid of a population of people without making it look like you're intentionally trying to get rid of them? That's a great way to do it. And the strong will survive, which ultimately it should produce strong men and women. I mean, they may be a little mentally effed up in the end after what they see, but that's not everybody's experience, you know? So I don't know. I know that I never wanted for myself to go in the military. I never wanted my daughter to go in the military. But I also know that there's ways around the war. And there's also such thing as economic value even in the military. So meaning that the goal for her would be to strive to be something bigger than the military, like be bigger, her purpose be bigger than what the military can do for her. So if that means you got to be an attorney, if that means you got to learn coding and become, get big in IT, start working for Google, something, girl, you better, she better do it. And that stuff starts in high school, meaning that they start looking for kids in high school. So I'm gonna need her to listen. I'm not playing. We gonna have to get her, and my goal is to get her in things. So she hurries up and figured out what she want to do. She says she settled on a lawyer. I said that's cool because we need attorneys in this family. Okay, I can do an attorney. Okay, that's cool. I respect that. But there's other options that she has not explored, that she is wants to explore but hasn't explored. So I'm willing to teach her, get her into coding classes and all this. I've been trying to do all this with her, but she ain't live with me. So now that this transition, I'm gonna be honest, y'all, she's not going. I put money on it. The kid's already talking about when she can move some stuff in. Like she already. So can I bring all this? She's already planning. We done already planned her room. She's picking out stuff to put in her room. What is her room gonna look like? Right? Like real talk. My daughter is fully on. I don't know what it is, but in her mind, she is mentally like ready. But then again, she's been planning this for 6 months. Like this in her little brain, she's been wanting this for a very long time. And so when I told her, I finally told my daughter about what her dad said about, you know, she can't go back with him or whatever. And me and my daughter had similar thoughts on that, which was very interesting. He had to become a little bit more specific as to what she meant. He did try to tell her that he would be traveling a lot more and yada yada yada. So my daughter's like, "Well, I want the times reversed. Like I love my dad. I want the weeks reversed." And I think he's saying stuff to get her to start thinking like, I don't think my daughter cares, right? I know it sounds crazy. But I told her, I said, well, your dad said that he wouldn't really be there. Because at first that's what he said it. The way he said it to me, he said it to her. And then he switched it up and was like, well, she could still come here, but if she has to come back, she ain't going back. And I'm thinking, you too old to be even like, okay, whatever. Like, okay, like if she comes back, you gonna be much older than what you are now. And if she wants to leave, she'll leave. She'll find a way to leave. This is what kids do. But I didn't get into all that with him. I see my daughter, and my daughter's like, what did my daughter say? She said, yeah, mom. So he told me the same thing, but he also told me that I'll be traveling, like he'll be traveling. So essentially, he's saying, well, yeah, she can come back at any time. But then he's also telling her that he'll be traveling. So he don't know if he'll be home and stuff like that. So I'm not dumb, right? I understand what's being said without really being said, right? Because he already said it really, and then I was trying to backtrack, right, with everybody. So that's cool, whatever. I mean, if you gonna go travel or whatever, I told my daughter, then that gives me permission to move. I don't have to stay here. Because if he gonna be traveling or whatever, that means he's not gonna be here. And the way he making it sound, he about to be going to travel for days. Like they going out of the country for, that's how they making it sound. So if that's the case, cool. Fine. So my daughter said that, one of the biggest things, I'll tell you, this weekend went by great, y'all. By the way, it was a good weekend. I barely had to deal with any attitude and sass. It's very interesting how that works when a kid wants something. Okay. Now, I know as a mom, I'm going to have to deal with it. She's a preteen. I know that that's coming, right? But what he doesn't understand is I'm fully aware that that behavior exists, and I'm the only one at this point. I mean, regardless of what he says, I'm the only one that's acknowledged it. I'm the only one that's ready to nip it in the butt, and I'm the only one that's really made a sincere attempt to nip it in the butt. Do you understand me? I've hit the kid where it hurts. So not literally hit her where it hurts, but y'all know what I mean. Like my punishment was ruthless. It had to be because the kid didn't get it. And the circumstances did not allow me to be soft. So sending her to her daddy's was the right bet every single time. I don't care how you look at it, because clearly look where we're at now. So as a mom, I know that I know what I'm doing by my child is 100% right. Like at this point, you can't even tell me I don't. Like I'm surprised because I ain't never had no other kid, but it's like I think moms intuitively know what's best for their kids. I really do. I think we know probably more so than dads. And I don't know about boys because I never had a boy, but as far as a little girl, if the mom is in tune with the daughter, the guaranteed the mom knows what's best for the child more so than the dad. Period. I don't even care how long the kid has been living with the dad. If the mom is in tune with the child, and what I mean by in tune, not I'm far away and you far away. I mean active, involved. Your child talks to you, you opens up to you about things. You know what I mean? Like you really know your child. Oh, you know what's in the best interest of your child. I don't think dads always do. I don't think there's a level of blockage that's really missing from him when it comes to this kid. This kid, let me tell y'all something. I know it sounds crazy. My daughter, in about a day span, has told me she loved me at least 10 to 15 times a day. Do you know how many hugs I get in a day? Like, I be thinking, like, do you tell them you love them this much? Like, why me? I'm telling you, the kid hugs me when she wakes up, after she eats. I mean, all in between, right? She just got to give me a hug. Out of the blue, she's looking at me. You could tell with admiration. I love you, mommy. Out of the blue. And I'd be like, well, okay, like, that's cool. I just, it's the way the child has always been with this, who she is with me. So I believe after talking to her and having a real conversation with her, like I told you guys, the only reason why she was going with her dad's because that was a punishment. That was anytime she misbehaved and you don't want to get it together, oh, you going with your dad. Because how I felt is they allowed that behavior to continue. If she's with me and I take her phone away, baby, that phone's gone. Do you understand me? She with me. I don't have to worry about being grandma and mom at the same time. I'm mom. Meaning that if I tell you no, I mean no. If I tell you you're grounded, little girl, you grounded. I mean, I don't know about grounding, but you know what I mean. If I want to take your phone away, I'm taking it. And it will be gone for a month or two or three. Like, I'm really that girl. So yes, you damn right. It's about time they gave me my fucking kid. And no, she will not be back for any reasons that are related to behavior. Because I know I can nip it in the butt. I know that it's easier for me to get this shit right than it's ever been for them. Okay, as long as the kid, this is really what she wants to do, I feel like at this point I really shouldn't have any too many behavioral problems as a result of the transition. None. Unless she realizes I don't like it here. But the thing is, um I'm this exact same when she's with me versus when she's not. Do you understand? There ain't nothing new. So exactly who I am when she's with me is exactly who I am with her being with me full time. And that shit's not about to change. I am me. That's the blessing about who I am. I'm not playing it. I'm not faking it. This is me. When I'm mad, she see me mad. When I'm unhappy with her, she see me unhappy with her. You understand me? So this ain't like she's making this decision, in my opinion, understanding that what the dynamics are in both households. This ain't like, even with her being with me during COVID, the girl was with me every day. You understand? So the kid is kind of familiar with me in that regards. There are times where she's left with me and she's with me. But because of the dynamics in the other house, there's always an issue, right? And I think she's growing out of that because of what she's saying she wants. She's like forcing herself to get out of it, which is, it's just interesting. The kid is ready, right? You cannot tell her, like I tried to tell her today because she kind of threw a little fit, and I said, well, maybe you want to really think about this is really what you want, right? You may want to think if you want to stay at your dad's or not, right? Because I'm still gonna throw that at her. She needs to be thinking about it. It ain't no you deciding. No, you got 2 months to think. So she started crying. I don't want to go to my dad's. I don't know what happened at her dad's, but that's the level of I don't want to go back to my dad. It is. Now, when she sees her dad, it's all smiles, it's all love. But when she's with me, the not wanting to go back to her dad's is a very real thing. The child starts crying, she starts breaking down. She really does not want to go home. You understand? I don't know what that is. I don't know that I'll know for a little while, but that is what, I don't know if that's like normal. Okay. I don't know, because I remember when I didn't want to, when I wanted to leave my mom, me and my daughter are very similar, right? Our temperaments are. So I was very stubborn. And I left because I was angry with my mom, because I didn't like my mom and everything else. But it was obvious. Like, my mom didn't talk to me. And as a result, I stayed away from her until it was time for me to get on that plane and go. Okay. My daughter's situation is not necessarily the same way, right? It's very much, she's going to have support at least through this transition, right? from both sides. Okay. What I don't understand is why the sudden flip. And I know people keep telling me, well, because they're older and she's recognizing that she's bored there and all that stuff. But that tells me she's got to be really bored, right? For a child to break down and cry every time. This has been going on for 6 months, not wanting to go home. Not even when I'm the one that's been sending her home. Not that she ain't been wanting to go home. Even when I'm ready to send her home, she'd be begging for me not to send her home. She don't want to go home. So I don't know. I feel like it's deeper, but I just can't pinpoint I can't pinpoint what the deep means. Like where is it? Because the kid is so happy. Do y'all understand? Like she's very happy and she's very cool. So when she ain't angry, the kid is very chill. Like I don't know how to explain it. She don't really have emotions of anger until she's angry. So you don't, it's like she handles everything. You be thinking like in her, I don't know how to explain it. But it's always you be asking her how she's doing. I'm good. Are you really good? Like I be like, girl, you be going through a lot. Like as a child, in my mind, the child goes through a lot. But every time you ask her, she's good, she's good. And then her personality is always loving and happy and you know what I mean? So it's not easily detectable. It's like, are you really good? Because in my mind, I'm like, you're going through way too much right now to just be great. Like, other than the fact that you know that this is really what you want. If this is what you know you want, and her response to me is I make her happy, and I'm thinking, what does that mean? Like that's cool, but what does that mean, right? I don't know what that means from a 10-year-old little girl. So it's very interesting. But like I said, she's very cool-headed about this. Like she's like, yeah, okay, and okay, she's like, I may not have as much as I did at dad's, but okay, and like that's her real ass mentality. It's freaking nuts, but I love it right now. I'm like, okay. I mean, it's a little nervous to me because I'm like, well, where is the emotion? But because of the dynamic, I don't think there's gonna be much emotion. Now, I told her, I said, you may start feeling something once you move. You might start missing them a little bit, whatever. And we talked about it, so she knows that will be a natural emotion if it comes. I don't know. The kid doesn't she's very chill. Like even in how she behaves, there was no feeling of sadness. There was no look of sadness. All weekend it was, I'm excited. I'm preparing. This is what I want to do. When can I move my stuff in? She said she thought she was going to be able to move in within 2 or 3 weeks. But I'm like, realistically, that's going to hurt me. Right. And then she'll be set back to her dad's. And then she really can't come with me. So it's got to be planned because you can't just, kids cost money. So I mean, technically, she could come with me, but where is she gonna go when I go to work? Those are questions. That's the thing. So I told her, I said, give me 2 months, let me figure this out, and that's perfect timing because she'll be in school, which gives me time to still. She needs to be in summer camp or go to her dad's during the summer, whatever. Then she can do that. Um, so I'm proud of this little girl because she actually made a decision, but it's almost like she'd been here before. Like, and I keep telling her that, like, you're an old soul. Like, she's very intelligent in the way of understanding people and understanding that what she told me was she is in her girly era. So I think that's part of it too, is she thinks her mommy can help her out with that process. Whereas she feels that they haven't been really helping her, which they do, but they don't. Right? They don't really the things that I teach my daughter, they don't necessarily stop to teach her. Right? So I think this is a time where my daughter she does need me. And I think it's one of those things where your body, let's say your food was this is how I feel it is. I don't know if it works like this with kids, but how I can describe it is when your body knows it's missing a nutrient and then you start craving whatever that nutrient is. So you may be low on iron, and so now all of a sudden your body's craving like red meat, right? Hamburgers, stuff like that. I almost feel like that, like her body, her mind, her spirit, or whatever is guiding this child is telling her this is the path for you right now, right? Versus I'm going with my mom because I don't like the rules of this house. Now that may have been how it came out, but like I told you guys, when I talked to my daughter over the phone, initially her response was, well, yeah, I didn't mean, and she even backed it up when I saw her in person. Like, I didn't mean, and you could hear it because she was a bit sheepish when she said it. She was like, I really didn't mean for it to come out like that. But apparently, what I found out about the situation is they asked her where she wanted to live. It wasn't that the child got into it with the girlfriend when her dad wasn't home. And she had said under her breath that she wanted to live with me, right? And the girlfriend, I guess, I mean, I don't know, because she said the girlfriend, she didn't know the girlfriend heard her. She just knew that her dad came home and then asked her where she wanted to live. And they're repeatedly, what she told me is that both of them repeatedly tell her that she would be more happy with me than they would be her. But it's almost like they do it when they're annoyed, like with her behavior or something like that, her attitude or something like that. So a part of me is feeling like, well, damn, I should see that they lucky this child is my daughter and not a toy. Because if that was the case, I'd have left the toy with them. Because what I feel like is they're intentionally at this point, they're recognizing I'm getting a bit too old to be dealing with this. And so they're telling her she would be happy here. Maybe some of that's a little bit of jealousy. I don't know. Right? Because at the same time, they're trying to help me to convince her that this ain't what she wants. But like I told them, I mean, I don't care when it came out. It just came out to y'all. This has been what's been told to me for the last 6 months. So I have no choice but to assume this is what she wants. And every time you talk to her about it, she ain't really crying. She don't cry. She don't she doesn't avoid the conversation either, which is good. But it's more of like, yeah, I love my dad. I want to see my dad. I want the roles to flip, and this is what it is. And mommy, this is what I want for my room. Can I help you decorate my room? Um, it's where she at. The kid is, I mean, listen, we already talking about extra, cause she talking about after school programs. Like the kid is ready. And I just think it's because she recognizes with me, part of it is she won't have a choice, but it gives her more freedom. It gives her more opportunity to do more, you know? So I found a coding school because it helps. She loves Roblox and she loves Minecraft, right? So I'm like, why not learn how to do these things? They have an after school program. I'm gonna look into it. But at first I got to figure out what school she's going to. So that's my first step. Obviously we're gonna start, decorating her room as soon as, because now that I know in my spirit she's serious. And so I feel like as time goes by, because like if she's going to be bringing and moving stuff here, then I've got to start putting them up. Like I don't want the stuff hanging out and I got stuff all over my house because she done moved in. I need that stuff organized almost immediately. So we've been picking out stuff. She's kind of been telling me what she wants. I explained to her how this transition is going to go, what I expect. Asked if she had any, she don't have any questions, really, not yet. Just a bunch of, hey mom, I want to do this. And it's almost like the kid is realizing she has a little bit more freedom, but with more responsibility, if that makes sense. So she definitely got responsibility here, but she will have a life. What I envision for my child is that she will have a life that it's almost like I've been fighting for her to have this life, right? She's got friends when she's with me, so that's cool. She's got a bunch of cousins, which I mean, apparently they're inviting us to stuff, so I guess we're going. And that's only because it gets me out the house and gets an opportunity to go do things. I don't have to necessarily agree with their ideologies. I'm very aware of who they are. The moment they stop talking, like I said, this is more about me getting out and her having somebody to play with. Um, my daughter kind of knows the dynamics. So it's like, you're here for the kids. If adults start asking you questions, you need to go talk to my mama about that, because I already know how folks are and they're nosy. And the thing with me is, you're only going to get what I need you to know, and that's it. If I need you to know anything, you understand? So I know that my family right now, I was just talking about it, right? My family is back in my life to try to keep tabs on me. That's number one. And because I make folks look good, right? My family will never give me the credit I deserve, the respect that I deserve, for being where I'm at and getting to this place. And I know that. I know that there's a secret level of jealousy. There's a secret level of what did my old roommate told me? He told me today, inferiority, right? I don't believe anybody's inferior to me, but people do, right? And so as a result of, I'm just here to enjoy the moment while it lasts. If that means me getting out the house and being able to watch some fireworks and eat a good burger, why not? You know, I deep down, it sucks because I know when I'm in events like that with my family, I know my family's not there for me really, but it's a chance for my kid to go do something with her cousins. Her cousins ain't got nothing to do with this. And it's a chance for me to get out and actually do something different than what I do all the time. So right now, okay, cool, fine, as long as there ain't no drama, I ain't being pulled into no drama, we good. So my daughter is going we're going over there for 4th of July. I have 4th of July and Friday off, which is a blessing. I don't have to go into work on Friday. And so I got the whole 4-day weekend to myself. So right now, y'all, I'm excited about life. I'm excited that my daughter is coming with me. I think that's a really cool thing. Um, y'all, I'm just happy. Like, to be honest with y'all, I'm happy. Now I feel like this is the beginning to a new life, a new chapter. Like, I'm walking into a new chapter. Like, I started a new job. Like, everything's new. Have you ain't noticed that? So this is going to be interesting. I just pray that I have the strength to get through this, you know what I mean? And the strength to do it. Like, I've never raised a teenager, but clearly my daughter feels like I'm capable of doing the job, like, meaning that I have something that they're not. I'm not saying they're bad parents, right? Because I'm not here to judge people's parenting, but there's something that I'm giving this child that they're not able to provide at this point. That's obvious of what this is. Okay. Because there's something here that this child is like, okay, I don't know how to explain it. When she left, this little girl gave me 2 or 3 hugs before she left. Like, I'm telling y'all, I don't know. I appreciate it. But I'm excited. I'm nervous. I got all these feelings, but I'm mostly excited, you guys. What makes me more excited is that I know that she's serious this time, which is crazy. When she told me she thought she was moving in 2 or 3 weeks. I was like, oh, I'm worried about 2 months being too soon. She said 2 or 3 weeks. I said, oh, you ready? She said, yeah, mom, I almost started packing my suitcase. And, she already started asking him what she can bring, what she can't bring, if she can have certain devices, if she can't have certain devices. They already talking about giving some of those devices away, already talking about giving her room away. And I'm thinking, okay. So she's like, mom, I'm going to try to sneak some stuff. Well, because at this point, she's like, listen, why they throw all my stuff away? But I just think that parents do that to try to control the kid. So what I did was I Googled it, right? Because I want to know. My child wants to come live with me. I just, I'm curious to what other people have gone through or experienced or whatever. And I was the kid who was in her shoes. I never had a kid that was in her shoes. You understand? So I can only imagine this from a kid's perspective. I don't know from an adult's perspective outside of the fact that I was thrown into this, right? So I did tell my kid she could have gave me a warning. Like, if you gonna drop that heavy of a bond, let folks know, give folks a heads up that this is coming. But she didn't even know she was gonna say it. Um, but when I Googled it, y'all, apparently kids at her age be doing this all the time. really at kids between 10, 11, 12, 13. I mean, obviously even older on up, they make decisions about where they want to live. And a lot of times a kid will choose the other parent. Sometimes, not all the time. And what they say is because the kid has a fantasized reality of what they think the other parent is. But I'm thinking my reality is my reality. Like, okay, she knows when I'm broke. She knows when I gotta go do Uber. She knows when I'm sad, happy. She's been there with me through it all. Like that's like so I don't know how much more fantasized it could be. I don't know what if there's a fantasy there. Like I don't know what the girl's expecting because she knows she got rules in this house and she probably knows it more here than she do there. So I don't know. Okay. I don't know if that applies to my situation. It could, but I don't know. That's all I'm saying. Um, then they said kids do it to spite their parents. So a parent will give them something to do, a task, tell them to do something, then they don't want to do it. So they be like, they want to go to the other parent. And then what they say is kids will usually change their mind, yada, yada, yada. I don't know if my kid fits that level of mold. She might. I just don't know. Okay. Because when me and my kid are talking, she's like, I ain't going back to dad's. She has made it very clear, like she does not want to go back. She wants to go back to visit, but never to live. Like that is actually something she's like, we're not doing this again. So it's very interesting with my kid, y'all. I don't, I'm supporting her. But this is where she's at. These are the things that she's expressed with sincerity and genuineness. And it's just cool to see her in her. It's like a level of strength that she has right now. Like, I don't know how to explain it. And she's so matter of fact, like, yeah, okay, this is what I want. So I'm excited, you guys. This is where I'm at, man. I'm ready for life. I'm a grab the bull by the horns, is what they say. My daughter is definitely a step up, which to me it's a level of responsibility, but I guess from what my roommate, because what was interesting to me is everybody who knows my situation has been really supportive and just, really happy for me and excited for me, except my family. And that bugs me. The silence bugs me. It irritates me. The willfulness to ignore what's happening just really irritates me. Like it gets under my skin, right? And what I talked to my roommate and I was like, it's very interesting how everyone has been super happy for me, but my family is just very radio silent. Like I guess I was in my feelings about that today. And what my old roommate had to say was, I mean, it's true. He's like, you're moving up. You have, at this point, everybody has talked shit about you. They have kicked you down. They have said that you were incompetent. All these things that these people have done against you and spoken against you, you have defied all odds. So the problem here is that they don't understand how you, of all people, were able to move up, right? And they're still in the same spot and or begging for crumbs at their late age, right? So he said, my roommate said that I have to recognize that I am better than, right? And I don't really look at people like that, but in this circumstance, if I'm going to be around these people, I kind of have to look at it like that. So I've never been the person like I'm better than you. You will never hear me come out of that me say that out of my mouth. But mentally, I have to think that. I have to know that. It's not even a thought. I have to know because I'm thinking, well, damn, is there something that I'm missing? Like, should I not have my kid or something? Like that's. I even told my dad, and my dad didn't even respond. And granted, my dad could have been, I mean, who knows what could have been happening to my dad. I don't know. I don't think anything's wrong with him, but it could be. Maybe he's in the hospital and he can't talk. I don't know. Right? Maybe there's something wrong and he can't speak. I get it. But my grandma, my cousins, right? It's just like, okay, y'all are exactly who y'all always been. That's what it tells me, all of y'all. Because what happened is everybody participated in trying to tear me down. And I mean, when I say tear me down, I mean not just shit talking, but making up lies on me. Going so far to say that I have schizophrenia and that schizophrenia runs in my family. What? I never heard I was schizo. Like I've had, listen, in foster care and you in the system, you go through therapy, you're dealing with people who are therapists, right? Like you're dealing with real psychologists, people who are your psychiatrists every day, right? So I would have found out somewhere down the line that I was schizophrenic. I would have learned this. Like last time I checked, my mama ain't even schizophrenic. My mama is the one with the real issues. I don't even, that ain't never nothing that came to me. That ain't never nothing that I've ever heard in my life. And they tested because when I came out to Colorado and I was in this foster care, they will go far to even if you, especially because my real mom was incarcerated, right? It's easy to go back and figure out who she is and what her past is and what her psychological history is. They figured all them white people figured that shit out. They found, I mean, because there's ways to get that info for them. So I don't know what the hell these people were talking about. Talking about I'm schizophrenic. My cousin had the nerve to tell me, well, I don't know if anybody called me schizophrenic, but she did tell me, well, we have that, that schizophrenia in our family. I said, who? Don't be trying to like, I guess if I was dumb, I would have been like, yeah, girl, I know what you're talking about. No, bitch, I ain't never heard of schizophrenic. I've heard of autism. I've never heard of no schizophrenia. I've heard of bipolar, but not no schizophrenia, bro. Like that's a whole nother level of psychological, damage or issues or whatever. So the things that have been said about me, the whole I probably get disability. Why is it so hard for these folks to understand I got a job? Just like, and I've always had a job. This ain't like, it ain't my first job. This is one of many. Okay. And then my cousin told me we went to Juneteenth, right? And I was telling my daughter this because I need my daughter to always understand the dynamics so that she makes the right moves when she's in these situations, right? So, and what I mean by right moves, I mean when she's with her cousins, right? And adults think that I'm not, my daughter may be running off with her cousins, and now you got a grown ass adult asking you about your life and about why you want to come live with me. No, 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 no. If these folks can't address me when I'm telling folks this is happening and they want to go radio silent, they have no business talking to my kid about none of that shit. You see what I'm saying? So, like I told my kid, this is the dynamics so she knows how to move. Meaning that you can go have fun with your cousins, but adult conversation you have nothing to do with, you don't know, go talk to my mommy. That's how that conversation goes. And my daughter's bold enough to say it. You understand? So that's how that's going. Okay. But I told her about it. I said, baby, I said, so your cousin told me, I said, listen, I said, because my daughter was like, dang, she didn't know I had seen my cousins. We hadn't seen my cousins for like a whole year since Thanksgiving when the fender situation happened. My daughter peeped game. She was like, so you were hanging out when you told me you saw my cousins. That threw me off because you ain't seen them in a while. I said, yeah, I know. She said, mommy, I thought we weren't talking to them. I said, well, they decided they want to talk to me now, so here we are. And their family. See, it's hard because I live in the same state as these folks and I don't really know how to say no because it benefits me a little bit. Like if I get to go, free, whatever, and I get to party, kind of, why not? And it's safe. Like my kid's safe. I'm safe. If I need to spend the night, I can. It's free food, right? There's certain things. It's like if they're inviting, why not go? I get to show up. I look good. My kid will look good. You see what I'm saying? So why not? But any deeper than that, that's not an option, if that makes sense. So the fun time is cool. Anything outside of that, we ain't talking about. I don't need to know what your issues are. You don't need to tell me. I don't care. You know what I mean? For fun, yes, I'll be there. Now, what my cousin said to me was, I can help you get a job. And I'm thinking, okay, like I already got a job. And so she's like, no, I mean with the state. Like I work with the state. I work for unemployment and da da da. And when you work for the state, you get there's special laws for people who work with the state. But I'm thinking, girl, you still driving this ugly ass, no offense, but look at this car. I mean, I'm sorry. There's no benefit for me working for the state. I don't want to be working for nobody's state, bro. Like, and not to shame that job. It's just not for me. I don't need you to find me a job, bitch. I already got a job. So I said, no, I've already got my life. I like what I do. I'm an accountant. I like what I do. Like I'm good where I'm at. Well, I know, but you could, you know what I mean? You could come work with me and da da da. I'm thinking you're not making over 100K a year. So what difference does it make? Like, I don't think, see, the problem is folks don't know how much I make and I don't need to tell them. They don't need to know. But bitch, I don't need your hand-me-down, handout ass job. Talking about, oh, well, my mama got me certified. She got me in. She helped me with the test, and I'm certified. Okay, well, have fun working for the state. Congratulations. Like, and I'm not switching what I set my life on doing for because you think that my job, like, I don't even know if they even thought, like, the thing is, there was no acknowledgement that I had a job. I never said I want to leave. I don't hate my life. I've never said that, hey, I hate my career. I really like what I do. I don't recall wanting to ever work for no state of Colorado. Like I just don't see myself doing it, bro. If you want to do it, cool, but that's just not me. You know what I mean? Like, and I guarantee you, these folks are older than me. So if I wanted to work for the goddamn state, I probably could have done that a long time ago. Let's keep it a buck. I don't need to be working in nobody's welfare office and unemployment. To me, that looks like hard work. That looks like tough work. Like I don't even like people as it is, and you put me in hard labor. To me, that seems like hard labor. Like that seems like I'm gonna be overworked, right? Uh-uh. I'm not doing it. I see the thing about being an accountant is it's a fair trade. It's a fair transaction. I don't want to be overworked. It's no different than working for the DMV. Like them people aren't necessarily happy. If you go to the office, they got a high turnover rate, bro. There's no fucking way I'm working for them folks. I ain't no shade, but motherfucker, I'm happy where I'm at. I am. And even if I'm not where I'm at, I'm happy in my career. So the lack of acknowledgement, like that made me feel some type of way. When I told my daughter that, my daughter was like, what? Because even my daughter knows I worked hard to get here. Like it's anybody who knows my story know they the audacity to try to come in and be like, oh well, I'm working for the state. So, my mama, we could put you on, I can get you a job. No, this ain't Build a Bear, bitch. I'm already built. The fuck? So it was weird and I let it, I whatever, but I peeped game. Okay. So when I was talking to my roommate about this, and y'all know I go to him about a lot of different things. And the biggest thing he told me was to recognize that because I didn't recognize that my daughter was seen as me coming up to people. I thought it was just in my mind, it's my responsibility to do. It's not a come up, I ain't got a choice. The kid made the decision. You know, what am I gonna do? Be like, nah, you can't live with me, but I got a house where she can live in? That's crazy. So, I'm not, okay. But to other people, what he said was to other people, it looks like I am moving up. Me having my daughter is me moving up. So they're never going to support me. This is what he said. They're always going to be jealous of me. I got to accept it. I'll get used to it. Because what I said was, so this ain't inviting me to all these events ain't really about the fact that they care for me. He said, no, this is about, it's like a pretty girl with a bunch of fat chicks. Fat girls bring the pretty girl because they think that the pretty girl's going to make them look good. But really, it just makes the pretty girl look even 10 times better. That is me. So, um, I'm really disappointed, but like I said, I this is who they've always been, and this is what I've been really trying to get away from. But what my old roommate said is, as long as I keep moving up, keep moving up, keep moving up, keep moving up, keep doing what I got to do, keep focusing on me, keep going up. He said eventually these people will fall, they'll fall away. And I know when I move state, that's it. And I'm not, I promise you, I'm dying in another state. Okay, this ain't it. So that's what I gotta say. That's been my weekend, man. I've had a great weekend. I don't feel any hesitation from my daughter as of right now. Which is kind of like I said, part of me just I want to know what's been happening. Why the sudden? It's not a sudden shift, but it is in the grand scheme of how many years. And I really think what part of it, again, back in 22, I believe my daughter did not make a decision. This is why I've been so upset with her, really. But deep down, is because I know that she did not make the decision that she really wanted to make. And I think a lot of this is what's coming. They should have let her come with me when she was younger. But okay, she made the choice now. Cool. She said it now. Cool. She is now, in my opinion, I can officially forgive her for the things that were done, right? Like, really let that go. Really just be like, okay, kid, I'm proud of you. Let's move forward. So maybe this is a healing process for me too. And one thing I did tell my kid is that she is not to make this decision. I made it very clear to her. You're not making this decision because you think it's going to make me happy or dad happy. Because if you're making that kind of decision, it's not going to last long. And she said, okay, like, I understand, mom. I'm not making it. It ain't about y'all. I mean, she didn't say that, but that was her attitude. So this is a 10-year-old. She's about to be 11 in August. She thought she was going to have a birthday. I'm like, girl, I'm about to buy you all this stuff for your room, all these damn clothes, toys. Girl, you don't need a birthday. You done missed your birthday. This is this is how this is going. You about to get a TV because little girl, I'm about to get cable, internet. Like, I'm really just, ugh. She's lucky I love her, man. I got to do a lot of stuff that I just wasn't doing before. And it's gonna put me in a little bit of a crunch, but I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I can do it. So that's where I'm at, y'all. I'm really happy about life, and I'm aware of a lot of things. Let's put it that way. But I'm impressed with how I've been moving because I'm learning that just because I'm aware of it don't mean I gotta speak on it. Right. Just because I'm aware of it don't mean I gotta call folks out on it. Just be aware. And this is why I have my own car. If I want to get up and leave a certain situation, I can. I got block on my phone. If I want to block somebody, I can. So I have been real impressed with how I've been moving. And like I said, it doesn't take away like the fact that I know that I can't count on because I was telling my old roommate too, and I said, listen, I don't need their help, right? I don't need financial help. So that's the only reason why I can see why you would be avoiding somebody, right? Is if you think they're gonna be asking you for some money or help or something. I'm like, I don't need none of that. But what he expressed to me was it ain't about none of that. It's about who I am and the things that I've defied and the things that I've overcome and I'm in higher places. I look better, like the whole package. And they trying to figure out how. And I feel jealousy, but again, because they're inviting me to things, it doesn't necessarily look like jealousy, right? But deep down it is. It's one of those situations. What I've learned is that by my daughter doing what she did, she just made all the adults who thought they were adults question themselves. That's what happened. This is what's happening between dad, the girlfriend, especially because the girlfriend's really got issues right now. She ain't really liking what's happening. But it's showing everybody that they were wrong. And yes, the child can change her mind, but I'm sorry. If she's moving to me for the reasons that I think that she is not going to want to go back. Because unfortunately, there's nothing new here. She may not be with me all the time, but it ain't like, everything is roses all the time. It's very much what it is all weekend long. It was quiet, peaceful, chilling. It's what we do. I didn't necessarily go out. We did things, but we didn't do any super fun things. You know what I mean? So the kid is very aware of how her reality will be here. And I just like the fact that she's ready for it, bro. It's cool to see, man. It speaks volumes about who I am because I've worked hard to get here. That's number one. But that means that I've convinced this child. I didn't really convince her, but y'all get what I'm saying through my behavior and my actions that I was right in 22. That's all I can say. So, with that being said, y'all, I'm out. I'm about to go to bed, but it will be back. I know there's something else going on. I want to rewatch some of these videos. Or excuse me, some of these debates, and I would really want to dissect these debates down because this is what I always do. I feel like since what I did it in 2020, I want to do it for 24, and just really break things down. Now that I've finally got my stuff set back up to do lives where y'all can see my face and I can be present, and have the same backdrop every time or whatever. I finally got that set up. So hopefully I'll be able to do these videos more, with my face as we go and dissect this, Biden versus Trump thing. Because it's about to get interesting. It's not just going to be Biden. There's going to be more people involved. And I don't believe that Biden's going to make it to the election. I really believe that the way they had that man out there, I'm so disappointed in them people having him out there like that. Because what it does, I don't care if this is a personal war between friends or foes or whatever. You just made us look real silly in front of the United States, in front of the world, right? The fact that our debates are so dumbed down, like we're not fucking. I don't get it. Indian people from India. I say Indian people, and people from India. I don't know maybe they're called Indians. I don't know. I'm sorry if they're not. But people from India, right, are some of the most wealthiest people in this country. Okay. And what blows my mind, that means their intellect is of a higher level. Okay. They're directly, they're not rappers and athletes and stuff. So the intelligence levels are directly in sync with one another. So what that tells me is if I think this was dumb, the rest of the world ain't necessarily dumb. Some of those are very educated peoples. Okay. They look at this debate and they're going to think it to be weak. There is no way around this. And again, I'm not trying to come all hard on Trump, but the reality is that didn't look good. And I know people say, well, he can only do so much. If it was a live taping, you mean to tell me he couldn't look at the camera and be like, y'all, I can't do this. This man is not even, he don't even know how to speak. Like, you mean to tell me he couldn't get off script? He could have. He could have hella taken that shit off script and been like, listen, I need a fair debate. Give me RFKJ. Give me the guy that I can really have a debate with. That's not a good look. So this idea that I won, you won, you won. I mean, I don't know how fair of a fight that was. I believe in fair fights. I believe in fights that are going to really add value to the conversation or debates. I say fights, but y'all know what I mean. Debates. There was no debate. This debate added zero. The pre-debate added zero value to the conversation. I had no idea what Biden was saying, where he was going with his train of thought. And Trump was just repeating what he's already said. Like, I need people to pull stuff out of him. Give me more. Give me more than just, I need more. So I'm going to keep up with these debates, y'all. I'm waiting for Trump to convince me. I don't follow along with people. I do what's on my heart. I've never been a follower in that regards. I don't go with the crowd just because everybody's saying that's the right way to go. I have to have that discernment for myself. So as of now, I will not be voting. I said what I said. I'm waiting on these candidates I'm not really expecting much from Biden, but I'm waiting on Trump to convince me, or RFK, right? To convince me that they're worth, my vote. So that's where I'm at, y'all. That's all I got to say. With that being said, I'm out. Peace.